All right, so we want to look at a few steps towards that, okay, making your church a brand. All right, number one, you have to identify your part of the puzzle. Remember, I know you had a passion when you started, all right, but you need to know that your church, your ministry is not for everybody. So you need to identify who your target audience are. All right, just like in the business world, you need to know who your audience are. So in church too, you need to identify the people you are targeting. All right, I keep saying this to pastors that churches, each church, just like the Redeemed Christian Church of God, is there, okay, for a particular set of audience. All right, Christ Embassy is there for a particular set of people. Okay, the same thing with KICC. Daystar Christian Center, CAC, so many churches, the Anglicans, the Catholics. So they attract different set of people that identify with their values. So it's good for us to know. So you need to realize that you are not going to solve the world's problem. There are a set of people that you are out to reach and influence. That is exactly what you're out to do. So identify your part in the puzzle. Who are your target audience? You need to find out who they are. There are different kind of churches. There are churches that are based on signs and wonders, all right? There are churches that are based on the word. There are churches that are based on some other things, okay? So when you go to a church, it's okay, this is a youthful church, or this is a church where there are more of old people, like CAC and all that, okay? I don't mean anything against that, all right? So churches attract the people that fall in line their values. All right, so you need to identify who your audiences are. Secondly, you just have to be specific. All right, I've talked about identifying your why, the reason for every brand you create. All right, so you need to have a brand voice. What is your brand about? You need to be specific. Now you have identified who your audience are. What is your ministry? What is your church? What is your product about? All right, remember, you are not offering your product to everybody. You cannot meet everybody's need. It has to be targeted to your audience, specific. All right, so you need to know exactly why you exist. All right, even though you started with passion, but now you started having members, you started having crowds and all that. Now you need to set up a structure, then you need to brand. Now you need to identify why your church, your ministry is existing in the first place. You need to know this. All right, now when you get that done, you need to know why people come to your church. Know the kind of people you attract to your church. What are your values? What do you stand for? Okay, that is very important. Then you need to sustain what you do on a day-to-day basis. Okay, when people come in contact with your brand, all right, your website, your flyers, your church building, your environment, what do they experience? So you need to sustain what your values are. Okay, you need to drive it in all of your touch points. All right, then of course you have to be consistent. You know, some people start building a brand and after some time they begin to change. Don't change. Once you have your value, once you have your reasons spelled out from the onset, begin to build on it. All right, so you have to be consistent. Remember, you need to identify your audience. You need to know who they are. Don't go for everybody. Everybody is not your audience. Everybody is not your customer. All right, then you have to be specific about where you are in the space. What is it about your brand? Then you have to sustain what you offer. Then you have to be consistent. All this is very important if you want to begin to look at building your church as a brand. But this applies to not just a church, even a non-for-profit, like NGOs, even mosque and all that. So it applies to business too, but we just want to look at the non-for-profit sector at this time. So I think that is where we need to start. So you need to look at branding your church. It is important. It is necessary. You have to do it.